What's up, guys? It's Sean from the Savvy Money channel. Yeah. If you find any information in today's show informative, please hit that lovely like button. It helps with the YouTube algorithm and getting the video out to more people. If you haven't subscribed already, why not? Please subscribe. I'm grateful for every person who subscribes. Now on with the show. So, the Swiss National Bank has been quite busy in the last couple of days. They have invested heavily in 4 companies, and we have spoke on this channel early on in this channel about those 4 companies. Remember, this channel is only a month old, so we'll have a look at them, shall we? Aurora Cannabis. It has gone up 90% on Friday on the back of great earnings. Now, it was at 5.5 when I spoke about it, and the thing is, it's people think it's about jumping on because they think it's about to come back to the highs. If you look at it compared to what it was, it's nothing. But you see there, it was really 105. So people think it's going to get back to those highs. I think for it to get back to those highs, it's going to take 3-4 years at least of the current growth. It's got to use this platform to start growing. Now, I haven't done a deep dive into Aurora, so I'm 100% sure of its whole business plan, whether it's the CBD oil or if it's just like the, but the plants for people to grow it home. But whatever the reason, whether people are smoking more at home or whether people are worried about the virus and using more of the oils. I know in England the cost of the oils have gone up, and some of the local oil companies have been pushed out of business because they've put restrictions on the oil, because lo and behold, the MP who put restrictions on the oil, their partner has a cannabis factory, so they know exactly what restrictions to put on. No nepotism there, is there? Now, I made a mistake with this. When it was $5.50, I said, if you're going into this, it's a super spec play. You're going to hold it for a long time before any returns, and you're better off with Tilray or Canopy Growth. I said I hold this, but I hold very little. I hold Tilray, and I would buy Tilray or Canopy Growth. Tilray and Canopy Growth went up 9% and 14% retrospectively on the back of these earnings, because people think their earnings are going to be the same, because usually within an industry, but that doesn't necessarily mean it will be. But in my opinion, they're better run companies, so they may even exceed it. But it is a stock that the Swiss National Bank has taken a small position on, because they've seen if it doesn't grow, it won't affect them much. If it grows like one of their plants and goes back to their highs, then and remember, you've got, this is the thing I don't like about Yahoo Finance, it doesn't show you that one. If it goes back to the highs, that 105 will look cheap. So they will 10x their money at least. So for them, it's a spec play. The next one is one we spoke about when I did Is Disney the New Netflix? Now, they bought Disney stock plainly because it's cheap. They're opening up some of their theme parks. They're looking to expand it from 30% capacity to 50%. With 30%, they can't make money, but they make money from the merchandise, from the restaurants, from all the add-ons. From the fact that Mickey can't take pictures, therefore Mickey spends less time in the park, so you can have the same guy being Mickey and Minnie, or Mickey and Donald Duck. You don't have to have as many people playing the part. Now, Disney TV and its streaming services account for 10% of its revenue. It got bashed when its earnings come out for a short time because people are still buying it on its potential. But what people don't realise is the next quarter is when it's going to be hurting, because that's when the COVID-19 figures come through, and that's when I'll be buying. But now Swiss National Bank has gone into it. Another thing to say about Disney is they have just bought Hamilton, the rights to Hamilton, so they can stream it on Labor Day weekend. They spent $75 million on it. Now, you remember when I did a deep dive into Disney, I said how Netflix can't drop $10 billion on their streaming service. They can't afford to, but Disney can, to expand it. Now, Disney Plus, when they started up, forecast, and they got their initial subscribers, they forecast it would take 3 to 4 years to get another 10 billion subscribers. They got that within a couple of months with The Mandalorian, with exclusive content like Mandalorian. I can see this Disney Plus being as big as Netflix, and the whole reason to buy Disney. You just got to weather the storm. Now, the thing is, Netflix may have been the first, but we've seen before the first doesn't always survive. We have to. No, the problem now is Disney is so diversified, and it's that diversification which is dragging it down. It diversified so times like this it will be strong, but it's all the other bits that is dragging it down, all the other diversification which no one expected. But for me, I still hold my price point of 80 to 89. This is 20 overvalued for me. I can't go in this high. If it drops to on the next earnings report to 80 to 89, then I will pile in, because I still think this is a minimum $200 stock, but it is one you have to wait. You have to leave it. When you buy it, you leave it there for a couple of years and it will reach 200, which is half of what Netflix is. So I think Disney Plus on its own is worth $200. The rest of it you get in for nothing. Anyway, on with the rest. This is one we spoke about as well, and this was when it was $6 a share. It's getting close to a penny stock. Now, they pay a tiny dividend. They're not profitable. And this is all because of their aerospace department. They actually service Boeing and a few others. But at this price, I'm not surprised, because they are a hugely diversified company. And I just think that General Electric, look at this, I just think General Electric is a huge growth stock, and I'm going to look into it, and I'm going to consider piling into that at this price. The fact that the Swiss National Bank has gone into it just confirms what I was thinking. People are thinking, oh, it's going to go bankrupt. I don't think it will. I think it's one of those ones that the government won't let fail. People are saying about Boeing, but Boeing isn't just two companies, because they say Boeing and Airbus. No, because in the defence sector, which is the reason the government won't let them fail, you have Raytheon, you have General Dynamics, you have Lockheed Martin. Now, you have lots of defence contractors. You have Rolls-Royce making the engines. You have General Electric making components. You have, even in the aerospace department, you have Raytheon as well. And you have lots of companies in the aerospace department. If Boeing failed, the thing is, I don't think Boeing will fail, but I just think it will be years of hurt. It'll be about 5 years before you get a return. And there's other companies out there that are undervalued that you'll get a return within a year. That's why. And I just think this is a good one from the Swiss National Bank, because you'll get returns before Boeing. You'll get more shares. You'll get a better return. This is like the people who go into cruise lines and airline stock looking to 3x. Yeah. Looking to 3x, 4x. No. With this, you can 8x your money. Maybe even more. But it all depends. Especially when this trade war with China heats up. They can take advantage in the midterm. I did a video on Vietnam versus China. You might want to check that out. And while these companies are changing their factories over to another country, like Trump wants them to, General Electric can take advantage. Now on to the last stock. Apple. Now remember, Warren Buffett saw them as overvalued at $3.20 a share and sold his stock. If they hit 320 again, I can see them. I see him selling his 5%. He sold them at 320 when he held 20%, 20 to 30% in there. He bought them back at 170, made $150 a share. People aren't mentioning the fact that he bought them back at $170 a share and took a 5% position again. They're only focusing on the airlines, saying has he lost it, has he lost it. I wouldn't mind buying 5% of Apple and making $150 a share within a couple of months. Now, you see this? It's back at its peak. Look, you see it? This is the yearly chart. They haven't even brought out a phone yet. And this is what people are doing. Now, when it was here, I did a FANG stocks review, and I said the best, and people were saying stay away from Facebook and Alphabet because they're the advertising had gone down. I did a deep dive of all FANG stocks, and I found Facebook and Alphabet. This is when Facebook was below 200. It was 190, and my review found Facebook and Alphabet were undervalued, and if I was going to go into a third company, it was going to be Apple. Now, I went into Facebook and Alphabet, and then the earnings came out, they shot up, and I sold. And people were asking me, why am I selling? It's because all the negative all these negative advertising is going to come in this quarter, and I'm going to hope that the stock drops again, like Facebook's to 190. It's already around 207, and Alphabet's drops again, because if it does, I'll snap it up. But Apple is just way too high. They have a good business model, but they are way too high for me at the moment. They need to be at 200, 250 max. Any higher than that, it's too high. Especially with the China trade war, that is going to affect them. China are threatening to kick American companies out of China. That includes Apple. American semiconductor companies. That includes Apple. Where they're going to make their phones if that happens. But this is the Swiss National Bank's biggest recent buy. Don't get me wrong, I don't think that will happen. I don't think China will. But you never know what will happen. Trump has already thrown out of America China Mobile and Tencent, threatening to throw Huawei out. Don't know why he hasn't already. I mean, he's thrown out other companies that have nothing to do with Huawei because they're Chinese companies. Why hasn't he thrown out the one that he's so worried about? But anyway, that's beside the point. These 4 companies are the ones that Swiss National Bank has gone into. Maybe if these were on your watch list, that you now know they're also on someone else's watch list. Swiss National Bank don't go into stocks lightly. They do a lot of research, and usually there's a catalyst that makes them pull a trigger. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. I hope you hit the like and subscribe button, and there's links in the description below to free trading apps that give you a free share from when you sign up and deposit from £1 up to £100 for a free share up to $200. And I'll see you in the market.